Ladies and gentlemen, it is currently 7 p.m. March 4th, 2013, which means we are starting on time. And this is the KNKL Emma Stream, day 31. I have a ruler today. I have the power of the ruler, my magic wand. Today we are going to be jumping right back into where we left off with page 1 of issue 2 of Emma-san. Yay! We're going to be jumping right back into that. But, oh, I didn't even check the Facebook. Dang it. Because I'm going to have to, like, nonchalantly pull it up over here. And, yeah, basically you guys can see what we're working on today. We're going to be doing the line work. We're going to be getting our comic ready for its colors and drawing over our layouts that we had laid down last week, including Tron Bike Man, who resides in this corner. Meanwhile, I'm going to nonchalantly check the Facebook and make sure there were no updates as far as pictures go. If there were none, then we will just continue with what we got here. And then we have establishing shot of the bikers heading toward the house where Emma is residing. And yes, that makes me happy. Oh, we do have something. We have something to look at from Alicia. Once again, I told her she is going to become my official concept artist, so naturally she went ahead and started doing some concepts for Nico and his cool little skull design, because originally she had sent this and she kind of made Nico's skull design a little bit different than it actually was in the comic, but I liked her design better. So I was like, why don't you just design it, and I'll just take your colors that you made for him, and yeah, we'll call it good. So, thank you to Alicia once again. Oh, you guys were able to see that, right? Oh, yeah. I almost cut off the awesome helmet designs on the side. How could I forget that? But yeah, so thank you once again. And for those of you out there, artists that are watching, you are more than free to submit your own things, your own fan art. I love fan art of Emma. And you can submit it right to the Facebook, as well as give it a quick little like if you enjoy the comic. So without further ado, we will get today's stream started. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys exactly how I line things and some of the thought processes that are going through my head as I am doing that. Just need to remember, I don't actually ink with straight black. I ink with very, 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 very dark purple. I feel it makes things feel just that much more alive. Slight aliveness to them. You work with very, very, very dark purple. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill the frames with our dark color here. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer called lines. And that will be good here. Looks like we have some new people in the audience. Uni Peruni. It's very nice to have you on the stream, joining us live. You decided to stop being lazy and watching it on YouTube, I see. That's good. That's good. Just kidding. I don't know where you live, but there are people. Some people, some crazy people, who actually stay up till 4 in the morning or set their alarms for 4 in the morning to watch the show. And I don't understand why you would do that. I wouldn't even do that for myself. So I'm very grateful for that. So thank you, people from Sweden. Eins improving. Eins improving. You waking up at 4 o'clock to watch the show. That's fine. It's cool. I mean, you wake up, you know, before you go out and do all your awesome stuff, you know, like work out at the gym, you know, save a cat from a tree, do some firefighting, you know, after lunch. And just the usual awesome things that people do. They like to wake up early. Successful people have a good regimen, and usually they wake up early. Hence, I'm about 70% successful, because I usually wake up at around 9 or 9:30. It is a luxury that I have been enjoying since I quit the job, quit my 9 to 5, and that is very nice. I do like it. However, I do want to get a little bit more of a hold on it and get back in the groove. Okay, so the first thing that I'm doing here is I'm just starting to line the bikes, right? And a good thing to remember is, rule of thumb, is the closer something is to you in the comic, as far as the style goes, the thicker the line is going to be, right? So I usually try to go back in here and like weight the lines, as some people call it. And that basically means I'll kind of go over the lines a little bit more and make sure that the lines are thicker, specifically around the edges, around the outer silhouettes. I try to make sure that those lines are specifically thick. Specifically, absolutely, positively thick. And it leaves you with a nice looking style. And we like these things. And we are using our trademarked Easy Ink brush, which basically allows me to not work as hard, not worry so much about the perfection of the inks, because inking is actually one of my least favorite things to do in the world, actually. There are a few things that I would rather not do than ink. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So naturally, I was excited, I was enthralled when I noticed that I had the chance to do my inks with a brush that actually looks better when there are imperfections. Imperfections make this brush look better, and therefore I have declared it as part of the style. Imperfect lines are a must of the style. If you want to work for this comic, your lines cannot be looking too good. They can't be looking too crisp. Too crisp and round and perfect. None of that around here. They need to have perfection in imperfection, as I have coined the phrase. Perfection in imperfection. I kind of like that. I like that. Taking pride and being confident in your ability, and at the same time making stuff that you don't enjoy doing a little bit more fun. Like, I have a lot more fun using this pen or using this brush to ink with. I just feel like it's a lot more organic, relies less on going back in, and because here I'll do a quick example of what I'm talking about. Usually I would try to ink with this type of thing, right? But you'll notice with a perfectly round brush, you start running into problems very quickly. Like, you're like, oh no, oh okay, I gotta go back, and you gotta zoom in, you gotta look at that, and you gotta like take care of like these little things and kind of really sculpt those edges. But with this brush, the Aufgenommener Pincel, which a good friend of mine from Riot showed me, it already has like a natural texture to it. And it looks really nice. I think it adds to a little bit more of like a hand-drawn look. And I like that. I like a little bit more of the hand-drawn, hand-painted. There's a little bit of sumi-e in there. I don't know what it is, but there's just like a nice grainy texture to the lines. And I think it adds to the style in this post-apocalyptic story we're trying to tell here. And the best part is that it's easy. So I like that. The only things you really have to worry about are making sure that you're consistent with your line style, right, and your shape language. Noting the, kind of the points on the shoulders and how I do hands and such. But today was a good day. I feel like I've been saying over the past couple weeks, I feel like I'm getting my momentum. I feel like I'm getting my momentum back, getting my groove back, if you will. And I've just been finding a lot more excitement and happiness in doing the comic again. Not that I was ever really discouraged about it, but some days it would be harder for me to really sit down and be like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna color 3 pages today, and then I'd only do 1, and I'd see that as like a failure, right? And so rather than just accepting that, I'd be like, okay, well, what is my schedule? Like, what am I actually able to do? What am I doing throughout the day? And what's a realistic goal to do that consistently and to improve over time? And I've been looking for all these little ways to help improve, basically make my process more efficient, and at the same time keep the quality, right? And I have happened upon some very interesting things. Ha! Alright. I like that. I totally just made up that silhouette. That looks good. Oh, and look, like his helmet kind of comes over his eyes. I kind of like that too. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna keep it like that. Awesome. Let's go ahead and draw that back. This is Hogarth, everybody. Hogarth is our foreground biker, Right? He's got a big lower lip and a large nose sticking out there. Right? And we're going to make sure that Hogarth has some good lines going on, some good silhouette lines defining him. Sticking with the 30 round brush, or 30 pixels wide brush. Adding in some little details on the edges there. And weighting the lines so they work properly. Uni Peruni, it's 5 o'clock? Oh my gosh. You must live just west of Sweden. So where would that be? I don't know. I'm not very good with geography. So maybe you can enlighten me as to where you live. I promise I won't stalk you for more than a year. I go for about a year and then I stop. I just kind of go away, find somebody else. It's all good. All right, so moving on. All right, so let's zoom out and just make sure that our lines are properly weighted. It's looking pretty good. I feel like there's a lot more weight here than there is here. And that might not be such a bad thing, but I'm going to go ahead and just go back in and make some minor adjustments. Especially here. That definitely needs some more weight. Whoa! Tlaquachi figured out how to get an animated icon? That's awesome. I'm jealous. I want an animated icon. I didn't even know you could get those. I did not know you could even get those. Cool. But yes, today was a good day. I took care of some business as far as the prints are concerned. I ordered the validation stickers, or the authenticity, the seals of authenticity, which are going to bear the resemblance of golden buttons. A sticker of golden buttons that will be placed upon the poster, along with a hand-signed signature. Hand-signed autograph. That's kind of redundant. But hand-signed poster with some awesome authenticity stickers on there so people can't copy it or try to fake it when they're worth millions of dollars later on after this comic goes big. Maybe. Never know. But yes, you can make the investment now when they're going to be fairly inexpensive. And plus, it's just fun. It'll be a good chance for you to get your hands on something really cool. So those should be coming out towards the end of the month. The end of the month, because I still need to have all those things shipped to me. But I already have good plans of how to ship them all out. I'll make sure that they are on, like, I'll be shipping them flat. I won't be rolling them up in a tube or anything. That's just, it's crazy. Why would you do that? It's not right. So I'll be sure that I'm shipping them flat, and they'll arrive at your doorstep in prime condition, ready for your viewing pleasure. Alright, so moving on, we're going to go ahead and go to tank here. And yeah, let's go ahead and get that started. Get that started. Now, something that's kind of bothering me a little bit with tank here. His arms feel rather large. They still feel big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this entire portion of the bike, scoot it back a little bit. And I'm also going to grab this portion of the bike, move it up a little bit. With the power of Photoshop. The powerful crutch of Photoshop shows its power. Okay, so that's a little better. Much better than that. Doesn't have to be perfect, because he's going to be pretty small anyway. And people aren't going to be like, his arm is a little bit too big. You know. So, well, probably some people will, now that I said it. But the important thing is that we take care of the big problems first. The action is... Uh-oh. Ah, dang it. Oh, whoops. My bad, guys. Sorry, I forgot to do this thing. I forgot I'm recording a smaller portion of the screen now, so I was actually maximized, and I was dang it. Oh, dang it. Okay. You guys need to see Hogarth's face. That is Hogarth's face right there, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. Sorry, I didn't mean to block that. Again, I make mistakes, but they are professional mistakes. They are pre-thought mistakes to see if you're paying attention. And now that I know you are, we can continue as planned. Alrighty. Going ahead and doing this. Let's go ahead and draw this puppy in there. Draw some hands on this motorbike. Yeah. It's good. Akiro Soma. Your Facebook got deleted. Were you posting naughty pictures of yourself? You know you can't do that. You know you'll get in trouble for that, right? No, but I'm sorry to hear that, Akiro. I did recently look at somebody messaged me on DeviantArt, and they had done this awesome picture of Emma in a really cool style. I forget if that was you or somebody else. But in whichever case, thank you. Thank you for your intention of posting art, or if that was indeed you, thank you for letting me know that you had done that. Alright. Again, designing this bike was so much fun. I love designing this bike. Drop myself down a little bit. But I ran into an interesting issue today, guys. Like, right before I came on the air, I decided to have myself a little bit of a shower because I went for a bike ride today and I was a little bit sweaty. And I had just finished eating my hearty supper, which consisted of spaghetti. Good old-fashioned spaghetti and Prego roasted garlic sauce. And it was really good. But naturally, I smelled a little bit sweaty and garlicky. So I was like, alright, time to take a shower. But the problem is that the whole time I was in there, I was thinking about the show and thinking about, things with, the posters and just things in general with the comic. And the problem is that as soon as I got out of the shower, I dried off and everything, and then I forgot if I had actually taken the time to shampoo my hair, and I think I forgot. I know I washed myself with soap, the awesome Axe soap that attracts women. It really works. It really works. You guys should try it out. But yeah, I'd totally forgotten whether I had shampooed my hair or not, and I think I totally forgot to shampoo my hair. And so that brings me to a words of wisdom that I have learned over the last couple months. All right? A great man once said, "Wherever you are, be there." And that is exactly what I need to start doing more often, because I'm doing something and my mind isn't in it, and I'm thinking about something else. It's like no matter what I'm doing, my mind is not completely there in that moment. So I need to make sure that when I'm taking the shower, I need to be enjoying the shower. When I'm eating pasta, I need to enjoy the pasta, right? Don't be doing something and then thinking about something else. There will be time for that. You can write it down, remember it for later. So I thought that was very funny. That was very, very funny. And after this episode, I'm probably just going to go back in the shower and shampoo my hair only. Probably just going to stick my head under the shower and shampoo my hair. Because I don't like the feeling like I can totally tell I didn't shampoo it, because it still has like that greasy feel to it. It just feels like it kind of got wetted down. Kind of feels like a like a dog with some thick fur that never gets washed. And that's what it feels like. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So, but yeah, guys, things have been good. Things have been good today. And I think some good things are on the horizon. Some big things are going to be happening within the next couple months. I'll just say that. Big things. And, oh, just as an update for those of you who have been waiting to hear back from Scion, I have not heard anything today yet. I have not heard anything. It's been over a week since they said to wait for a week before they were going to announce the semifinalists, and still nothing has happened. So people are naturally starting to get a little antsy. People are on their Facebook being like, what's happening? Why are you... I still love you guys, but next year, make sure you use some other marketing firm or something like that. You know, people are on there just generally complaining about stuff, which is understandable. But I choose to kind of avoid that because I don't want to become too... Although it's easier said than done, I don't want to become dependent on the result of that contest for me to decide whether I'm going to be happy or not. You know, I want to make sure that I'm choosing to be happy from within, and then naturally things will just fall into place. You know, the comic, or if the contest happens, then it happens. If not, then it's not going to change what I'm doing. I'm still making this comic. I'll make this on my own. I don't care. I will do it because that is what I decided to do. That is what was decided, and no questions will be asked following this moment. Yes. So, yes, naturally today was a good day. Took a good bike ride. Had some great spaghetti for dinner. Took a shower and forgot to shampoo my hair. And yeah, now I'm doing the show. Fun times, fun times. Inking ja pages. Inking ja pages. Man. Okay, let's go ahead and drop that down into there, like that. Show off his little coattails there. And let's go ahead and sketch in this wheel here. Akira. I didn't mean to embarrass you. I apologize. I'm just telling you because I discovered firsthand that you're not allowed to post naughty pictures of yourself. I got in trouble. But he's okay. He's okay. Alrighty then. But yes, if that really offended you, let me know. I will write you. I will make a macaroni card for you in the shape of a heart, and I will take a photo of it. Because I love you. I really love you. I just love people. I really do. I love people. Mostly because they draw me pictures. I really, really love people who draw me pictures. It's just kind of hard not to love somebody who draws you a picture. No matter if they're artistic or not. If they just put some thought into something for you, you just can't help but say, yeah, I think I love you. I think I really, really love you. Yes. Okay, let's draw these spokes. Spokies. Bam, bam. Thank you, Graham Russell, for giving me a shot. All right. Good. Next. Back wheel. Axe is better used as pepper spray. Yeah, I know, right? Because if you're like, you like go for your, your armpit, and you actually get in your face. You're like, oh, and then it like sticks to your nose, and you can't like wash it off. Just like sticks there. Good repellent for a would-be attacker. For a would-be attacker. But then you spray the burglar. Here's how it works. You spray the burglar, and then millions of women swarm him to the point where he can't move. And they actually tackle him into the ground to the point where they crush him and accidentally kill him. And that is how you protect yourself against burglars with Axe spray. They should make a commercial on that, huh? They should make a commercial on that and then give me money for the revenue that they make off of it. Yes! I like it. Alright. That's good. I've been experiencing minor pain in my wrist once again, though. That's the only thing. And I think it's a combination of playing a little bit too much Black Ops during the weekend, and also just getting back in the groove of making the comic. I think I'm working a little bit more than I usually do, right? So I think naturally my wrist is going to start hurting just a little bit more. So all I got to do is just kind of keep an eye on it and making sure that I'm doing my approved stretches, taking my supplements as needed, and yeah, just doing my exercises to make sure I'm in good shape. Because anything less is unacceptable. Anything less. I will not be a comic artist with a sore wrist. I will not be that. I do kind of miss working standing up, though, that's for sure. I miss being back in the office. I could stand and graze properly, like a cow, because they stand while they graze. She could stand and graze like a cow over my comic. But that's okay. I'll figure it out as I go. Alright. That wheel is looking good. Let's draw that little wheel cover. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's draw Tank's head now. Tank's head is up next. Let's go ahead and draw that. Simplified Tank's head, mind you. There we go. Not worrying too much about perfection, because naturally this is going to be very small. So we more want to focus on just the silhouette and what we're seeing there. What the outer lines are communicating as far as his silhouette. And let's zoom out and see how that looks. Looks pretty good. Pretty dang good. Except his hands, they still just look way too big. His arm still looks way too big for me. And I thought the lines would kind of fix it, but they didn't. The lines only made it more apparent. Okay, so delete, replace that. Yeah, his arm should be about like that. So let's go ahead and clean up these lines. We can do that, right? We can do that, right? Yeah! There we go. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Ask for a rematch. There we go. And draw that down like that. Alright, so that's not bugging me as much anymore. In fact, I think I can actually live with that. actually live with that. Brilliant! Brilliant! Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Clem, who's back here with his mustache. Mustache Clem. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and move on to Clemmy. Oh. Kilner, that is a great suggestion. Why don't you reference someone on a motorcycle to see how they sit? Brilliant! I will definitely take a look into that after the stream. Because doing so, pulling up the right reference, can take a little bit of time. I don't want to do that right now while we're on the air. But I'll definitely take a look at that afterwards. So thank you. Thank you for that lovely suggestion. Should do that. It'll help capture those subtleties that I'm looking for. I'm all about those subtleties. Okay. Going up here. Finishing this off. Trying my best to stay within the 20 to 25 range here, because these guys are a little bit smaller, so we can get away with slightly less thick lines. Remember, because as things go into the background, like this, their lines become naturally a little bit thinner. It helps with the style, and it helps with the communication to your reader. And that makes us happy. And it's good to be happy, right? I'm feeling strangely wiped out. I think the spaghetti's doing me in. The paschetti. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. For those of you who have ever had a candy called sour sketty, it's actually one of the best candies on earth, but they only sell it at the gas station back in Utah where I used to live. I haven't seen it anywhere else. It is a gas station only candy. And it's basically like sour straws, except it's just like a bunch of little ones. Just all jammed into a little pack. And they are good. They're really good. It's all in the recipe. The recipe's good. And the reason why I say, like, I'm a big fan of like sour candy, and it's getting harder and harder to find good sour candy these days because I don't know. I think kids are eating too much of it, and it's like eating the roof of their mouth and like the skin on their tongue to the point where it becomes dangerous. And I guess the parents are getting ticked off, so in order to avoid lawsuits, they're reducing the sourness of their candy, and that makes me very angry. The kids are ruining it for me once again. I ain't gonna have it. I ain't gonna have it. So, naturally, I can appreciate a good sour candy when I find it, such as sour sketty. Just sour enough. Just sour enough to leave you wanting more. It's exactly what they want you to. What they want you to be. Just enough that you're satisfied, but you just want more of it as soon as it's gone. Alright, Clem. Go ahead and draw your hands. Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry I'm a little bit more drowsy than I usually am. I'm not my usual hyper self. But I'm doing my best. I'll do my best. Okay? I promise. Something strangely smells like... Is that me? It smells like the pasta that I had earlier. But it smells like it's like emanating from somewhere, like the walls or something. What's weird is when people are cooking, like the kitchen is like kind of below me, like right below me and to the side. So when people are cooking stuff downstairs, the smell actually kind of comes up into the room, like through the vents or something. I don't know what that is, but that's actually probably what it is. Someone's probably making dinner right now. And I can smell it. And it's making me hungry again. I want more. Mm-hmm. Cool. Clem, you're done. Okay. Actually, wait, we need to draw his big mustache there. And his helmet there. I like drawing these guys with the helmets over their faces. It's making me laugh. I don't know exactly what to do for Clem. I think I might just shade in his face like that. Keep it simple. Cause I don't want Clem. I don't want Clem with his helmet over his eyes. I'll probably have some glasses or something, but the helmet over the eyes is more of like a crony look. That's Hogarth's look. Can't copy Hogarth, Clem. You gotta get your own style. Gotta get your own style. You know what happened to the last guy that tried to copy Hogarth? He wound up as zombie food. You don't want to do that. Don't do that. Food, he ended up as comida for los zombies. Para los zombies. Okay. Let's go ahead and draw on that wheel there. Wheel there. Good. 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 I like it. All right, Clem. Looks like you're done. Now it is time for Tron Bike Man. I know you've all been waiting for this. You've all been waiting for the Tron Bike Man. So let's go ahead and get him started, shall we? Oh, I forgot the spokes of this wheel. Yes. Thank you, Helgen. Uni Pruny is saying, draw first, look at the reference later. Like building IKEA furniture first and looking at the instructions later. That's awesome. Because, yeah, usually that is what happens, especially with me. It's like, oh, I know how to do this, and then halfway through it like looks like crap, and I'm like, I don't think that was supposed to go there. Let me look at the instructions. Like, oh, I thought that was a leg of the table. That was supposed to be a leg of the chair? I don't know. Assuming you bought a dining set. So you have the table with small legs, and then you have the chairs with like the nice tall legs. That'd be awesome. It's like a reverse. It's like inverse Asian. Inverse Asian. So you're like eating up here. You're like hunched over, like eating your food like this. Instead of on your knees. And they don't even have chairs. Usually just kneel down. I like that. Eating noodles while kneeling on the ground is actually one of the most pleasurable things in the world. I love doing that. Hence, I want to go to Japan and do it. I want to go to Japan and eat noodles on the floor. Not noodles on the floor. Noodles while on the floor. But if one falls out of my bowl and onto the carpet, then yes, I will eat it off the floor because it's amazing. And I know about the 3-second secret. Alrighty. Tron Bike Man. Come on down. Tron Bike Man. You have been selected to compete among 50 finalists for $10,000 and a brand new car. What will you do, Tron Bike Man? Are you just going to sit there and take it? Or are you going to do something about it? If Tron Bike Man entered the Scion contest, that's what the announcer would sound like. I could be the announcer for the Scion Motivate contest. I'd like to be. Especially after I took a nap. That would actually probably help out a little bit. Tron Bike Man. We love you, Tron Bike Man. He'll be forever shrouded in the dust. We will not be able to fully make out who he is. Oh, they have chairs in Japan, but without legs. It's quite useless, in my opinion. I never understood. Well, it's so you can like sit down, you know, cross-legged, and have like maybe a support for your back, you know, because it probably gets annoying, like having to like sit up straight all the time. I should know, right? Because I have trouble sitting up with good posture. But the funny thing is that I have a chair and I still sit with bad posture, so maybe that actually doesn't help. Alrighty. Moving on. ATV Man, you're up. ATV Man, come on down. It's your turn to get lined. Lining them. Lining them good. Lining them good. Not too much detail. Sticking to just the silhouette. Just the major silhouette here. Don't want to give him too much of the spotlight. Because ATV Man is also pretty dang cool. We gotta keep him on the DL. Yeah. What's strange is that I went to bed at like 11 and I woke up at 9. So I got 10 hours of sleep. And I'm still sleepy right now. I don't understand. I don't have the power! But that's okay, because we're going to finish this baby up. And we got about 15 minutes, or rather 10 minutes to go. And then we're going to take question catapults. So ready your questions now. Write them down. Think of your good questions. Get out your little journals and write down your questions. So that way when the time comes, you are prepared to ask. Because sometimes, not all the time, I try to get to everybody's questions, but sometimes I'm not able to take everybody's. You gotta save it for tomorrow. Speaking of that, I still gotta figure out what we are teaching tomorrow. What is going to be the tutorial? What is going to be the tutorial? I'll think of something good. In fact, I've already gotten some great suggestions from viewers over the past couple of weeks of what they want to see. So, definitely not on a shortage of ideas, that's for sure. Alright, drawn in the dust. In fact, I'm going to make the dust on a separate layer. Dust is going on a separate layer. Okay? The KNKL Sleepy Stream. That's what I should call today. Sleepy Stream. Seriously feel like I could conk out right now. Take a nap for a few hours, maybe just go to bed. I am so sleepy. Feeling a little loopy. Maybe I just need some sugar. Yeah, that's the answer. Need some sugar. Okay. Good. Let's continue with our background dudes. Don't want to forget them. Make them nice and thinly lined. Nice and thinly lined. So that way they don't steal too much of the spotlight, but we can clearly distinguish that they are men. And they are back there. Good. Got some cargo crates going on right here. Just some silhouettes. Showing that they do have some supplies they are carting around. Let's go ahead and draw this other flag in. Akiro's asking about tomorrow's Tutorial Tuesday. Some people were suggesting things such as blending skin. They want like an in-depth tutorial on blending colors, blending skin. Let's see, what else? If there were some other ones, I can't remember them right now. But rest assured, they're there. Oh, they're there. I've seen them with my own eyes. So yeah, we'll see. I don't like that. I'm going to get rid of that. Instead, do one of those. There we go. Oh, dang it. That's supposed to be on the dust layer. There we go. Good. All right, bike people are done. Bike people are done. Now it's time to move on to ant bike people. Ant bike people for another few minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into questions. Questions. Eating lots and lots makes you sleepy, so it'd be easier to pray for the lions. Yes, that makes sense. I would not be able to survive in the wilderness of the Sahara Desert or the rainforest. Well, there's no lions in the rainforest, but the predators of the rainforest. The monkeys and the badgers. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. I was going to make another layer with this, but I'm going to say, nah. So let's see. What do I actually want to ink on this page? Because I've never inked the house before, and I don't want to ink it now. So I think the only thing I'm actually going to be inking is the bikers and the dust trail. And it's the only thing that's going to be inked on this page. And the rest of it is going to be painted in. And that should look pretty cool, actually. I think that'll look nice. Further lending to that animation type style. Like that. Oh, Kilner was saying he's been listening to Jim Rohn and he read The Richest Man in Babylon? Wait, you finished this? I haven't even finished it. I'm barely like 20 pages into it. Man, now I feel like a chump. If you finished that book before I did, then that's bad. After I told you about it. Although I did make a goal that I do want to read it some more tonight. So that's another thing I'll be doing before I hit the sack. But that's good. I'm glad that you said that. Jim Rohn is a great, great man. talking about business, talking about life, talking about setting goals, setting dreams. It picked me up. Did you notice that? It, like, woke me up when you started talking about him. Just makes me excited. I love listening to him. He's a great man. And yes, he's been changing my life lately as well. I only wish he was still alive, so that way when the comic goes big, I could tell him, Jim Rohn, because of you, I made a comic. And it became successful, and people loved it. And it was awesome. You should check it out. Alright, so I'm going to focus very heavily on just the silhouettes here. Just silhouettes. Maybe some slight body references, but that's it. It's working with as little shapes as possible to communicate what is happening with our bike. Use that ellipse trick to create our wheels. There we go. And let's not worry too much about detail on this one, because he's going to be so small at this point. He's going to be so small at this point that people are not going to really be able to see him. They're not going to be able to see all this little detail. So let's just focus on the outer silhouette and the outer lines. No way. Kilner, you actually did? You read the book after I told you about it, and you just finished it before the stream. That's awesome. Okay, that inspires me. That inspires me to get through this as soon as possible, because that's really cool that somebody would listen to something that I offered them, that I referred them to, and read it so quickly. That's very, very inspiring. Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored that you would listen to something that I had to say, and that it's affecting your life for the better. That makes me happy, and it is another reason why I do in fact love people, such as yourself, Kilner. So thank you. Alright. Speaking of I love people, there's a reason why I want to win the Scion contest more than anything, and that is because if I win it, if I win the money, I'm going to invest in a new computer. I'm going to be getting a new computer. And I'm going to sing a song called A Whole New Rig, which is basically a whole new world, with substituted lyrics. And yes, I will sing it myself to you. And it's going to make me very, very happy if I win, because I will know that it was actually your guys' contribution and your guys' support and the awesome comments that you left on the YouTube video, which again, thank you guys very much for all that support, that I'm sure helped it get noticed and get Scion interested in supporting such a thing. Such a crazy thing as a comic. Online comic? Who does those anymore? Pfft, crazy people. Crazy people that want to tell a story and get successful off doing it. Starting a business? Who does that? Who does that nowadays? That's just crazy talk. I'm just kidding, by the way. If you want to start a business, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. If you feel it is in your life's calling to create something, tell a story, do something for yourself, and you want to create a business, you must do it. And you'll find out very quickly. You can only go so far in life. You can only go so far in life before you start realizing that you have to listen to your dreams. You have to either take them, or you have to say goodbye to them forever. And I chose to be a man that did not say goodbye to his dreams. Nor will I ever be. Because it's just too much fun making comics! Love it! I love it! Ever since Jenny Romanchuk told me to make comics, I knew that I would. Jenny is the creator of The Zombie Hunters, another zombie post-apocalyptic comic, which you guys should check out. It's thezombiehunterz.com, or if you just type in Zombie Hunters in Google, it will give you the site. And Jenny Romanchuk is awesome. She's been doing that comic for years now, and was probably one of the biggest inspirations for me to start my own comic. So I'd really love it if you guys went over there and checked out her comic as well, because she's a very, very good artist, and I'm a big fan of her drive to create her own comic, and she hasn't given up on it. You know, just after years of going and going and going, she's telling her story, and she's living her dream, and she's doing what she loves, and that's what life is about, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, that's all you need. All right, so that looks really nice. Looks really nice. I like that. A little bit of suggestion of a leg there. I'm gonna go ahead and do that here as well. He's looking a little malproportioned at this point, but I don't think that'll be such a big deal once you zoom out. Like if you're viewing it from this big, doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. Oh, hey, people! It's time for the question catapults. So catapult your questions over the castle walls. I hope you wrote them down. Better wrote them down. And send them my way, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Till then, I'm just going to breathe in the air. Maybe get a drink of water. I do need some water. I'm a bit parched. Thirsty. Oh. That's good stuff. It's not a novel to spoil. You guys are awesome. Tell us the end to see if you really read it. Alexander. You're funny. Yeah, it's not necessarily a novel. It kind of has a cool story to it, but from what I've noticed, it's actually a very short book. You know, it's only like that big. I think it's only about 200 pages. So you could easily get through that in a couple days if you really wanted to. Kilner's asking, any more bees show up? No, luckily no more bees have been entering the domain, because that was really scary. They were just like on that wall. There's like 7 of them, just like right there. And I took them all out and threw them outside. And then in the morning, I woke up and there was one just like buzzing around the room. But luckily, yes, I have not seen any more. No bugs. I don't like bugs. No bugs. All right. And yes, Alexandre, you should read Richest Man in Babylon as well. It will inspire you of how to create something awesome for yourself. All right. Uni Peruni is asking a very, very cool question. He's saying, is it a coincidence you've done like all the official Yordle art that has come out lately? And no, it is not necessarily a coincidence. The art team that I was on a team of about 7 artists, all very, very talented people, but they just tend to like my style that I drew the Yordles in. So every time a Yordle piece would come up, and I really, really enjoyed drawing Yordles too, because I saw it as a chance for me to, basically it's almost kind of like my anime style, but it's kind of rendered in a realistic state. And so naturally I had a lot of fun drawing the Yordles. And you get to do all the fun proportions with them, and like big heads and tiny bodies. I really, really like that a lot. So no, it was not necessarily a coincidence. The team would actually say, hey, Kienan, we got another Yordle coming up. You want to jump on it? And I'd be like, yeah, yeah. I'd be all excited. And my favorite Yordle is actually Lulu. I think she was the first one that I actually got to draw, I think. Yeah. I think Lulu is the first Yordle that I got to draw. So naturally, she was my favorite. And I really, really enjoyed seeing the development of her character. Just seeing people working on her animations and, like her voice acting and the spells and her kit and all that stuff. Kit is her mechanics in the game. And yeah, it was really fun seeing her come to life. And then I got to do the final illustration. So naturally, I really, really enjoyed her. But yeah, that about sums that up. Alexandre is asking, do you have an address so we can send you candy? Let me get back to you on that. Vanilla Sadio is asking, how long does it take you to finish one LOL champion splash art? I actually get this question quite a bit. And I'm thinking maybe I should make like a frequently asked questions thing on the Emma site, even though it's related to LOL, but I don't know. I should just put this up somewhere. But it usually would take me about 2 to 3 weeks to do one. That's not necessarily me sitting down for 8 hours a day and working for 2 to 3 weeks. Keep that in mind. When you're working professionally in a studio, you'll quickly notice that a lot of your time starts getting taken up going to meetings. And then you go out for an hour lunch with all your friends. You go have a great time. Then you come back and do a little bit of company play testing where you play League of Legends for another hour. And then by the time it's around 2 or 3, then you actually start to sit down and do a little bit of work. You work for about 2 to 3 hours, and then you have wrap-up meetings. You have meetings on what you've been doing that day. And then you just kind of start to relax because you're like, oh, wow, it's been a huge day. I guess I just better take it easy these last couple hours. And then you don't really get that much done. So I guess realistic, if you were to compress it down, maybe you could do it in about 1.5 to 2 weeks if you were to work 8 hours a day. So, yeah, I don't want people to get discouraged and be like, oh, I have to work for 3 weeks all day to get something like that. You really don't have to. It's not that hard. But personally, it's not my favorite. Like, I realized as I started doing it for just over a year, it's not my preferred art style. You know, drawing, like, I love the challenge of drawing, you know, the characters and getting, you know, all the little details of the materials of their armor and the weapons and their faces and stuff. I love doing all that stuff. But, you know, it just became doing the same thing. You know, you do the same thing all the time, eventually you're going to get sick of it. So what I really would like to be able to do, if I get into any situation like that again, is have the freedom to be like, okay, I want to do some illustration here. I want to do some concept over here, which I can do in a different style, much more simplistic style, because you're dealing with ideas. This isn't stuff that's going to be plastered on the front page of the website. You know, not everybody needs to see that. So you can work a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more in your any style that you want, and you can be a little bit more creative, and it challenges a different part of your brain. So I really like that. All right, last question coming I was trying to combine up and in, and I got un. Coming none. All right, peoples. All right. Kilnerv is asking, speaking of Lulu, where did the photo for Lulu's weapon come from that you brought in during the spotlight? Oh, you're referring to the little 3D portrait. That's actually the model of her staff in the game. And usually when I'm drawing characters' weapons or anything that has, like, especially like a gun or anything that has like a 3D model to it, or that is very, very important that you get the perspective right on. Like I did this also with Graves' gun. And I think I did the same thing with the Dragon Scale Shyvana. I think that was what it was called. I did that with her gauntlets, you know, the dragon gauntlets that sit on top. And basically what I'll do is I'll position the character in 3D Studio Max, or I think it was Maya. I'll position them in Maya so that their weapon or whatever is in that same perspective, and then I'll just take it into Photoshop and trace it, because I get to cheat like that because I work at Riot Games. So that was where I pulled in that photo that you saw me working on for the Lulu Art Spotlight. All right, peoples! We're going to go ahead and end today's KNKL Emma stream. Thank you guys once again for being patient and understanding that I'm not always up to par. Even though I got 10 hours of sleep last night, I'm still a little bit under the energy. Not my energetic self. I was about to say under the weather, but I'm not sick. But yeah, tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow is the tutorial, and we're going to have a great time. So people on YouTube, please thumbs up if you like this. Thumbs down if you don't. My name is Kienan Lafferty. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, you guys take care.